Hey YouTube, my name is Mike. I'm going to be unpacking some CGC slabs today. I just received a box with 8 of my comics. I think it's 8 or 9. Just received them a couple hours ago. I'm actually waiting for one more box with one more comic inside. For some reason it's in a different car, apparently is what the FedEx driver said. I knew they were sending them in 2 separate packages. That first one, or the individual one, got finished first. But then they got shipped out around on the same day. So anyway, I'll also just, I think, educate you a bit too on the process. I'm pretty new to getting books graded. I probably sent my first batch in January or February. And I'm still learning about the whole grading process, or just the different levels of grades, of course. And part of that learning is trying to make sure that you're not wasting your time or your money in terms of when you buy books. And also when you ship them off to CGC to get graded. So let's go ahead and start. This first one is Wolverine number 8, and I picked this up around the time of the movie Deadpool Wolverine came out. I actually had this comic when it first came out, way back when, I think it was the 90s. I'm a big Wolverine fan, so I have a lot of Wolverine comics. I have a Wolverine tattoo and all that. So I thought this comic was pretty near mint, pretty much near mint. I know it's in the 9s. I'm hoping it's a 9.6, high near mint, 9.6, if not a 9.8. So let's see what I got. And it comes in plastic for extra protection. Oh man, so I got a 9.8. Super happy about that. I did not look, in case you don't know, when the books are shipped, when the shipping status is showing up on the website on CGC, you can look at the grades on the website, and you can look at the grader's notes. And I normally look right away. I want to know what I got right away. But since I was thinking about doing the video for these books, I figured I would wait, and it was pretty hard not to check. Let me tell you. So I'm happy, super happy with this. I do get impressed. I do get impressed. Yeah, that's a beautiful book. I'm keeping that one. That one's going into my PC. That's worth like at least 200 and 9.8 and graded. So I do get them pressed. And I hope to find at some point a good presser nearby. I live in the Bay Area. If you know anybody who presses books in the Bay Area, please let me know. I ended up using one presser. It's important that you get them pressed before you send them out, even if they look pretty damn near mint already, just to be sure. And there's always little small dimples that can be smoothed out, or so is what I'm told. And I've looked for Bay Area pressers, can't find any. Used one in Fresno, my hometown, before. Wasn't happy with the job that he did. He actually ruined one of my books, a She-Hulk one. A couple of the books he did well, but then a couple of others that didn't need much work. It didn't look like he did any work on them at all. Those had small dimples. So anyways, but I use CGC pressing, and I'd rather not, but they do a good job. So they don't charge too much. So if I can't find a local presser, I'll keep on using them. All right, next book, Nintendo. This is a Nintendo book, Comic System number 9, I think is what that says. So this book I bought off Whatnot, off a dealer, and it looked to be in pretty good shape when I got it on the screen, on the stream. And also when I bought the book, when I got it at home. I'm hoping at least a 9.4. What is it? 9.6. All right. I'm happy with that for sure. And I've never seen this book before. Played the game, owned the game when I was little, but never have seen this book before until it showed up on a stream on Whatnot. And I think it's cool. I like the colors. I like the cartoon. The drawing, the illustration, like super cool. White pages. Let me make sure my other one's white pages too. Yeah. All right, happy with that. So this one's gonna go up on eBay, I think, because I do need to get back some money that I spent for these books. Next one, X-Men 133. Guess that's the Wolverine one, where he kicks some butt, kicks some hellfire butt. When I first started reading comics in the 90s, 80s and then into the 90s, I picked up reading comics, the X-Men in particular, around the time they were fighting the Marauders, and that just sucked me in right away because, as I'm sure many of you know, that story is amazing. The stories are amazing, and I got sucked into, became a hard Wolverine fan virtually overnight. He became my favorite character right away, just because of how bad he was, and his style, and his also very sweet attitude though at times too, but I was more attracted to the style, or just his badassery overall. This is a really nice book. I actually bought this book off Whatnot again, off the same person who I bought the Super Mario Brothers book at. So it was a really good condition when I got it. I think it should be at least a 9.6, hoping higher. There are no ticks on it, at least from what I can tell. It's a 9.6, cool. I'll take that. A 9.8 would have been nice, but I'll take a 9.6 for sure. So as I've been learning more about the grading process, the book can look perfect, but there's little micro ticks that the books can have. And even if they're just a few, that will automatically bring you down from a 9.8. So even if the book is pretty much perfect, if it has those micro ticks on the side here, they're hard to see. Sometimes you got to take it out to the sunlight. That's what I learned. I take it outside. I have astigmatism anyways. I can't even see that great indoor. I can see more or less fine, but I have trouble seeing indoor, is what I'm saying. So I'll go outside in the sunlight and I'll look at the books up and down just to see what kind of defects I can find, if any. So, and I don't remember exactly what I saw on this book. It was pretty damn near perfect. That's why I was hoping for a 9.8, but I'll take a 9.6. Absolutely, and it has white pages. Badass comic. If you haven't read this, read them. Read this series where they fight the Hellfire Club. This one, okay, so next book is Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the number 1. It's the first Ahsoka appearance, and this book I bought off Whatnot. It was looked pretty good when it arrived, and looked good on stream. Looked great when it arrived, and I'm hoping for at least a 9.6. I'm a Star Wars fan, more or less. I don't read a lot of the comics, or I don't read the comics at all, actually. Never got into the books for some reason. I don't know why, even though I loved Star Wars growing up, but never got into the books. So anyways, I saw this book come up on a Whatnot stream, and I had to buy it because of what it was, the big key, and it looked really great online, or excuse me, on the stream. It looked in great condition. So I'm hoping it's a 9.6. So let's see what it is. Holy shit, it's a 9.8. Okay. Hell yeah, holy shit. All right, so I came out way far ahead with this book. I paid below market value for this book. I'm gonna have to tip the seller. He wants to know. We've been chatting a little bit. I told him that this book was sent to CGC, and so he's already expecting me, wanting me to tell him what it is, and he already expects that it's going to be a 9.8, is what he said. He didn't say that on the stream, that it was going to be a 9.8. You can't guarantee it, but he's not going to be surprised. He's been expecting it. So, oh man, this is big. This is worth some money. Awesome, and I paid well below market, for this book, raw condition. My luck is great right now. I mean, these books are coming back as good as I could imagine. Even better, surpassing my expectations. I felt like I've been burned. I know people feel like CGC can be pretty lax grader and inconsistent. And I'm sure there's plenty of inconsistency, but I feel like they've been hard on my books. This is my first batch where I'm getting consistently high books. It's probably also because I have a better eye at this point with what I'm buying and what I'm turning into CGC. Okay, so what's the next one? Amazing Spider-Man 300. Okay, so this book I bought raw, and I figured it was about a 9.4. I paid what I felt was a 9.4 price, 9.2, 9.4 price for it. So, and then when I got it, I was hoping that I figured it was going to be at least, I'm hoping for it to be at least a 9.4. Otherwise, it'd mean I paid too much for it in terms of the raw value. So anyway, let's see. Of course, this book is amazing. First Venom. Let's see what this is. 9.4. Okay. Yeah, that's. I wish it was higher, but 9.4 is right. I'm pleased with it. I agree with that. There's some little tickage along the spine on both sides, and that's going to, if there's a good amount of if there's like, let's say 5 or 6 ticks and they're pretty obvious, that is, you can see them with your plain vision. You don't have to get up close. You don't have to mess with the lighting to see if there's any ticks or to see them. That's gonna automatically mean, in my experience, it's gonna automatically mean 9.4, even if the book is perfect the rest of the way, okay, or the overall. Okay, so those ticks are gonna just bring down your books. 9.4 white pages. I'm happy with that. So I'll be telling the buyer that it's a 9.4. So awesome. I can't afford anything higher, so I'll keep a 9.4. Maybe I'll be on the lookout, stay on the lookout for high value raw, but no way I'm buying a 9.6 and above slab. No way. Okay, what's next? NYX. Okay, so this is the book. I said I didn't look at many of the grades when they were on their way back, and that's true except for one. Because I don't have that much discipline. So I had a friend of mine actually go into my CGC account and look up the grade for this book. Because I wanted to know. And this is one of my grails, actually, NYX3, Laura Kinney, and female Wolverine. She's so awesome. And I had to ask. I had to know what it was. So she looked online for me, my friend, and she told me what it was. And yeah, we both were actually very happy with the price, or with the grade. So it's a 9.6. So I bought this. I also ended up asking her, at least at that very moment, it was about 3 days ago, because the person I bought it from off Whatnot, he was streaming, and I wanted to tell him what the book was coming back as. So he got really happy for me too. So I bought this raw, paid, I was hoping it was like a 9.4. Again, this is my grail. It's one of those things, I wasn't even expecting it to come on the stream, and one night, and when it did, I'm like, God, I gotta get this book. I ended up paying a pretty good amount for the book. I'd say fair value for like a 9.4. Then when I got it, and I'm like, God, I hope at least it's a 9.4. It better be. Of course, 9.6. I'm totally happy with. So I think the pressing. This is all pretty good evidence that how much the pressing helps. Okay, because again, I agree with these grades, and not because I'm trying to exaggerate my ability to predict what my comics are going to be, or that I'm able to get good comics all the time, because I'm not. And I've been burned plenty of times. But once I saw these books, I more or less had them at 9.2, 9.4s. That's why I did the pressing, because I knew at least it bumped them up, or would hope it bumped them up like at least 0.2, right, from like 9.4, 9.6. So 9.6. This one is a Spawn book, not worth very much. It's a key though, or it should be a key. Spawn number 5. This book was beautiful, and I can see I forgot they put the number on the back too. So I looked at it, and I saw the answer before I revealed it to you all. So 9.8. So this Spawn, when I bought it, there's books when you get them, you're like, holy shit, there's nothing wrong with these books. Nothing wrong with these books at all. And you look for the micro fissures, the micro spines or ticks, and nothing wrong with this book. So I was hoping for a 9.8. That's why I sent this in, because this book raw is even a 9.6, 9.8 near mid plus is not worth a lot of money, but slabbed, I think it's over 150. And this book should go up. Also why I got this slab, because it should go up. If I remember correctly, it's because there's a child who gets killed by some very evil entity in the book, and now they're bringing her back as a ghost or a demon or something, and she's going to be wreaking havoc or seeking out her revenge in some way. So I think I'm explaining that right, or that's accurate. But anyway, so this should be a key because of that. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy. Cool. It's a beautiful book. I'm not a big Spawn fan, but hey, Spawn can bring me some money. Okay, this is Omega Man 3. First Lobo. Man, this is my second Omega Man 3 that I've submitted. My first Omega Man 3, which I thought was near mint, was a big downer. It was a 9.0. It had some things on it I did not see when I sent it in. And anyways, that was a big downer. And just an educational point, so there's books that, as long as they're big keys or they're well sought after, you can sell them relatively quickly on eBay. I don't have a big platform, and it helps to have a bigger platform, of course, but if you have a book that's really high value, that's a high big key or just being really sought after, you can sell them relatively quickly. So that's one thing I do. If I'm not happy with the book that I just bought, well, that's part of the calculation. If there's a book I'm not too sure about if I should get, or I'm not too sure about what the grade's gonna be, hoping for something high, doesn't come back high, whatever, I know I can sell it and get most of my money back at least right away, relatively quickly. So that's what I did with that first Omega Man, the first copy that I had of Omega Man 3. Came back at 9.0. Yeah, really disappointed. I was shocked. But yeah, the notes were right. So after I looked at it, when I got it back, the notes were right. So I'm hoping this is I bought this from a dealer at a convention, and I'm hoping, I looked it over, the book, and I'm hoping it's about a 9.4, 9.6. I don't think it's gonna be a 9.8. We'll see. Holy shit, it's a 9.8. All right, I'll take that. So in that, and I guess maybe I should have been showing you the books a little bit closer. Sorry, this is my first time doing this, so I'm just trying to get through this somewhat quickly. But yeah, it's a great looking book. I knew it was great looking for sure. There weren't any dimples or anything. Yeah, one corner. So some of you are gonna be nitpicky about that, but there's that one top right corner that has a little bit of white showing. So I know sometimes they ding that. I hear they ding that, or could, but I also hear there's 9.8 books like this one that they don't ding, obviously. So, but I'm happy with this. Again, this is my second try submitting an Omega Man 3, and I bought this off a dealer in person. So one of the good things about, they're gonna charge you probably a little bit more, and say compared to Whatnot or eBay, but at least you can look through the books, right? So you can see the value of it, look at it, inspect it. So that's what I did with this one. And I thought it was near mint, and I didn't know, because of that little white corner, and probably, maybe there was a dimple on there too. I was hoping the press would bring this up to 9.4, 9.6, or keep it 9.4, make it 9.6, but 9.8, awesome. I'm really damn happy with this. All right, this is awesome. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm just waiting. I'm about ready to call FedEx to see where the hell my other box is, because that's that was my Secret Wars number 8. That's 9.8. That should be getting here soon. We're supposed to be getting here today. And so like this video and subscribe. This is not something that I regularly do on my YouTube page, but maybe I will, depending on how much response, community response I get. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.